Alright, good morning and welcome to SohCahToa online class. Today, in this video, we'll be talking about trigonometry. Let's have a triangle like this. Trigonometry means three angles, okay? So, and the only shape that has three angles is a triangle. So, let me have a right angle triangle like this, okay? And I have that maybe here is A, here is B, and here is C. Okay, we represent the angles. We represent the angles with what? With capital letter, and the sides with small letter. So if here is A, here should be small a. If here is C, here should be small c. If here is B, here should be small b. Okay, so let me call this angle theta, and then call this one alpha. Okay, now we know that the sum of angles in a triangle is 180. So I have that. If I have that, I want to know what this alpha will give me. If I have that alpha plus theta plus what? Right angle means 90 degrees. Plus 90 degrees is equal to what? 180. So alpha staying alone, it will be what? 180 minus 90 minus theta. So alpha is equal to what? 90 minus theta. So this alpha that I wrote here is something as saying what? Angle 90 minus theta. Okay. So let's use SohCahToa to find this the sides of this angle. So I have SohCahToa. Now this S means sine. Okay, this is sine, and if I have sine theta is equal to what? Opposite over hypotenuse. How do you know opposite? Okay, now hypotenuse is the longest side, or the side that is opposite the 90 degrees. Any side that is opposite the 90 degrees is the longest side, and which is called the hypotenuse. But any side that is opposite the angle you are talking about is now the opposite. Okay, so this is the angle I'm talking about, angle theta. So this one becomes the opposite. Then the remaining one is now the adjacent. If I'm talking about this angle alpha now, this angle 90 minus this, you see that A becomes what? The opposite, and then B becomes what? The hypotenuse. And if you know that, the adjacent, hypotenuse does not change. So SohCahToa said that sine is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite over what? Hypotenuse. So which is what? My opposite is B over hypotenuse, which is C. Okay, the next one we're going to have is cos C. So cos theta is equal to what? Adjacent over hypotenuse. So since this one is the opposite, this one is now the adjacent. So adjacent over hypotenuse. So which is what? Adjacent is A over hypotenuse C. Okay, so the next one is tan. Tan theta is equal to what? Tan is what? Opposite over adjacent. Opposite over adjacent. And my opposite is B over what? Over A. So there's another three you need to know apart from sine, cosine, and tangent. The next one you need to know is cosec. Okay, cosec theta is the same thing as saying, watch, cosec means count 3. 1, 2, 3, and I'm having what? S here. So cosec means inverse of sine. So just count 3, inverse of sine. So since I have that sine is B over C, the inverse is turn it around, which is what? C over B. Okay, so the next one you need to know is sec theta. So count 3 again. 1, 2, 3. So I'm having C there. So sec means inverse of cos, which is what? Inverse means turn it around, which is C over what? C over A. The next one you need to know is cot theta. Count 3 again. 1, 2, 3. And cot theta is what? Inverse of tan. So an inverse means turn it around, which is what? A over B. Okay, so that is that. Now another thing you need to know is that tan theta is the same thing as saying sin theta over cos theta. Okay, let's check if it's correct. Sin theta, we got it as what? B over A. B over C. Divided by cos theta, we got it as A over C. So if I change divide to times, I'm having B over A times C over what? Over A. So what am I having? I'm not having that C can cancel C. B over C. So C cancels C, I'm getting what? B over A. and you see that b over a is the same thing we got here. So tan theta is what? Sine over cos. So since cot is the inverse, so it means that cot is something as saying cos up now. Cos theta over what? Sine theta. Okay, so these are very, very important. So the next one we need to look at, let's look at this side now, this angle now at this side. So let's take sine 90 minus theta, which is this angle now. If we are talking about this angle now, the opposite becomes here now. So opposite over hypotenuse. So opposite is now a over what? Hypotenuse c. And if you see that we got that a over c is the same thing as what? Cos theta, which is the same thing as what? Cos theta. So therefore, sine 90 minus theta is the same thing as cos theta. So the next one we're checking is cos 90 minus theta, which is what? Cos is here becomes the adjacent, since here is the opposite. Adjacent over hypotenuse, which is what? B over a, b over c, which is the same thing as what? Sine theta. We got it as sine theta b over c. So the next one is what? Tan 90 over tan 90 minus theta is equal to opposite over adjacent, which is what? A over b. And this one we got b over a. So it means the inverse. So tan 90 minus theta is the inverse of tan theta, which is something as cot theta. Okay, so which is something as cot theta. So you need to know this very important formula. You need to know this very important formula that sine theta is something as what? Cos 90 minus theta. Cos theta is the same thing as what? Is the same thing as what? Sine 90 minus theta. And tan theta is the same as 1 over tan 90 minus theta. Okay, so this is an important formula that you need to note. Okay, this one again is another important formula you need to note, and this one again is another important formula you need to note, and this one SohCahToa is another important formula that you need to note. Okay, so that is that. We'll still solve question concerning that one. Now let me clean here. Now let's talk about some special angles. Let's talk about some special angles. Let's talk about some special angles. Okay, in this video, I'm not going to teach you how to derive the special angles. I'll just tell you how to know it. So look at the special angles we have. Special angles. Okay, so the first one I'm having is theta, and then I have sine theta, cos theta, then tan theta. Okay, so the first special angle we know is 0. 0 is a special angle. 30, 45, 60, then 90. Now, I'm not going to teach you how to derive it, but I'll teach you the shortest way to know it in case you are in exam hall. You don't need to start deriving it, okay? So, but I'll do a special video to teach you how to derive it, but you just need to know it in this topic, how to know it. Look at how to know it. For sine, which is the first line, just write for me. Just write for me. For sine, look at how to get the sine. For sine theta, okay, you just write 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. How many are there? 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you put but for cos theta is you start from the back. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, so the next thing, you divide everybody by 4. Divide 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 by 4. Okay, so the next thing you are going to do for me is to take their square root. Square root. Square root. Square root. Square root. In fact, I don't even need to do for cos, because anything for cos is just to get the answer from the back. So I don't even need to do this. So this is equal to, now 0 divided by anything is 0. The square root of 0 is 0. Okay, square root of 1 is 1, and square root of 4 is what? 2. Square root of 2, we don't know it, so it will be root 2. But square root of 4 is what? 2. Square root of 3, we don't know it should be root 3. But square root of 4 is what? 2. 4 divided by 4 is 1. Square root of 1 is 1. So just come and put it here. So the answer is what? 0, 1 over 2, root 2 over 2, root 3 over 2, sorry. Square root of 4 is 2. Root 3 over 2 and then 1. Then, for this side, start from here. So here will be what? 1, root 3 over 2, root 2 over 2, 1 over 2, and 0. You see, it's very simple to get. Now, how do you get the tan? Know that tan simply means sine divided by cos. Sine divided by cos. I don't need to put another theta here since I have theta. So it means sine theta, cos theta, and tan theta. So tan means this divided by this. So 0 divided by any number is 0. 1 over 2 divided by root 3 over 2. You are having that is 1 over 2 divided by root 3 over 2, which is 1 over 2 times 2 over root 3. So this will cancel this. So I'm having 1 over root 3. So this is 1 over root 3. Now, when something divides itself, the answer is 1. So when this divide is root 3 over 2 divided by 1 over 2, which is what? Root 3 over 2 times 2 over 1. This cancel this, which will give me what? Root 3. So this is root 3. Now, 1 divided by 0 is undefined. You see? So this is how to know your special angles. It's very simple to know. Once you have gotten sine by doing this thing from 0 to 4, okay, you have gotten everything. So this is how to know your special angles. Okay. So I just want to give you some hit points before we start solving calculation. Okay. Let's take an example. Let's take an example. An example said in the figure below, comma, calculate line BD and line AD. Okay, so look at the figure below. Look at the figure below. I have that here is 60. Here is 45. Here is 90. And here is 10. Here is B. Here is C. Here is D. And here is A. Okay, so they say we should calculate line B, line BD. So we need to find this line. And then line AD. Okay. Okay. So, to find this, did they give us any other thing? Okay, they didn't give us any other thing. Okay. Now, if you look at this very well, these are two triangles. So try and bring them out. Cover this thing. You see that the first triangle that you are having is triangle B here, A here, and C. If you cover here, so this is the big triangle you're having. Here is 45, here is 10, and that's all. Okay, and the second triangle you're having is this small one, which is what? So here is 60, here is D, here is B, here is C. So to get this thing, the first thing you need to find is their common line, the line they have in common. So they have BC in common. So we need to find the BC first. So how do you find BC? From here, from this triangle now, okay? To find BC from triangle ABC. To find here is the one you already have is hypotenuse, because here is 90. You already have hypotenuse and you are looking for opposite. So you will not check for your SohCahToa. You must write down your SohCahToa. SohCahToa. So the one I already have is hypotenuse, and I'm looking for what? Opposite. So I must use sine. You see how to know the one to use. So I will say sine 45 is equal to opposite, which is the line I'm looking for, line BC, over hypotenuse, which is 10. So if I cross multiply BC times 1, I'll have what? BC is equal to what? 10 times sine 45. And sine 45 is what? Don't forget, root 2 over 2. So I have what? 10 times root 2 over 2. 2 cancel this, I'm having what? 5 root 2. So you have gotten that here is what? 5 root 2. Okay. So since you have gotten there, it will now be easy for you to get. So which means that here is what? 5 root 2. And here is still 5 root 2. You see, to get the BD will now be easy now. This is opposite and I'm looking for hypotenuse. So let me clean here. So you will now have from triangle BCD. Okay, BCD. So you're having that you already have opposite and you're looking for hypotenuse. So I'm using the same sign. So sine 60 is equal to opposite, which is what? 5 root 2 over hypotenuse, which is line BD that I'm looking for. So you know, in math, division will cross this side, they can change. In cross multiply, they can change. Anything that goes cross multiply can change. So if they change, I will have that what? Line BD. Okay, is simply 5 root 2 divided by what? Sine. In fact, let me just put what sine 60 is. Okay. Any method you like, we'll still get the same answer. What is sine 60? Root 3 over 2. So I have that sine 60 is root 3. Root 3 over 2 is equal to 5 root 2 over what? Line BD. Okay. So if I cross multiply, I will now have that what? Root 3 line BD is equal to what? 2 times 5 root 2. So what do you have now? So permit me to clean here. So you are now having that what? Your line BD is equal to this time this 10 root 2 divided by what? Root 3. But we don't leave sod at the denominator. So I will rationalize by saying times root 3 over root 3. So what do I have? 10 times invisible 1 here. 10 root 2 times root 3. You have what? Root 6. Now divided by 3. Root 3 times root 3 is ordinary 3. Now this 3 cannot go and divide 6 because this 3 is not in sod. So go and learn sod. This cannot divide this. So only like sod can only sod inside can divide. So the one outside is dividing the one outside. So simply keep your answer as 10 over 3 root 6. Okay, so that you know that the one outside is the one dividing the one outside. Okay, so I've gotten line what? I've gotten here to be what? I've gotten here to be 10 over 3 root 6. Okay, so the next thing we need to find, they say we should find line AD, but I cannot find this line AD because here is not a big triangle. So what do? If I can find here and find from here to here, I will not say from here to here minus from here to here will give me this small one. Okay, so permit me to clean this one. So from the big triangle, let me find line AC. Line AC. Okay, to find line AC, I can use this one. This is opposite. Hypotenuse and adjacent. Adjacent and hypotenuse. So I will use cos. Okay, so cos 45 is equal to adjacent, which is line AC, over opposite over hypotenuse, which is 10. So this one is what? Root 2 over 2, don't forget, is equal to what? Line AC all over what? 10. So do your cross multiply to have the what? Line AC. 2 line AC is equal to what? 10 root 2. So therefore line AC is equal to what? 10 root 2 divided by 2. The 2 is dividing the one outside because it's outside, which is what? 5 root 2. Okay, so I've gotten here as 5 root 2. So I need to get here, which is line DC, so that I will not say the bigger one, line AC, minusing line DC to give you the line AB. Are you getting that now? So let's get line DC. And from, I can use it, this is opposite over adjacent, which is tan. Okay, so tan 60 is equal to opposite, the one I have, which is 5 root 2 over adjacent, which is line DC. Okay, so tan 60 is root 3. So I'll have what? Root 3 over 1 is equal to what? 5 root 2 over what? Line DC. Okay, so if I cross multiply, I'll have that what? Line DC is equal to what? 5 root 2 divided by what? Root 3. So rationalize times root 3 over root 3, which will give you what? This time this will give you 5 root 6 over 3. Okay, so therefore, permit me to clean here. So therefore, BD and AD. Okay, so therefore, my line BD, sorry, line DC, okay? Okay, they say the BD and DC, sorry. So line DC is equal to, if they say we should find line DC, it means line AC, the bigger one, okay, minus line, AD. They say we should find line AD. So line AD is equal to what? Line AC, the bigger one, line AC, the bigger one, minus line DC, the smaller one, line DC. So which is equal to what? Line AC gave us, where is line AC? Line AC gave us 5 root 2 minus line DC gave us 5 root 6 over 3. So 5 root 6 over 3. So they cannot subtract, so that is your answer. If you want to factor out 5, you have 5 in bracket of root 2 minus what? 1 over 3 root 6. So that is that. Okay, that is because I'm leaving my answer in solid. Okay, if your answer is in point, you get just a normal number. I decided to leave my answer in solid because they gave us special angle. Anytime they give you special angle, they are always expecting you to leave your answer in solid. Okay, so that's the first question we are going to solve there. The next question we are going to solve is okay, let's just write out so many things there, then we'll not know the next thing to do. Okay, let's talk about angles greater than 90. Please come and check the time for me there. Angles greater than 90, time or record?
22.
Huh?
22.
Okay, so let's solve one question there. Then we'll not talk about angles greater than 90. One more question here. Okay, they said the second question here said that if cos theta is equal to 4 over 5, comma, then for 0 less than theta, which is less than 90 degrees, okay, comma, find tan theta. Okay, so they gave us this. So what's the first thing you do? You know that cos theta is equal to what? Opposite over what? Hypotenuse. And they gave you as what? 3 over what? 4 over 5. So which means you have your opposite to be 4, your hypotenuse to be 5. So just draw it immediately. If you draw it immediately, you have, this is your angle theta. Opposite is, adjacent over hypotenuse. Don't make mistake. Just write your SohCahToa. SohCahToa. So my adjacent, this is my opposite. So my adjacent is 4. Adjacent over hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is 5. Okay. So we need to find here. So finding here will lead us to Pythagoras theorem. Okay. I'm supposed to tell you about Pythagoras theorem. I'm supposed to tell you about Pythagoras theorem, but since I didn't tell you before this, so let me just show you how to do it. Okay, Pythagoras theorem said that if you have this, for instance, you have, this is your A, C, B, 90 degrees, theta. Okay, here is yours. Okay, let me have B and C. Here is C, A, B. Pythagoras theorem said that hypotenuse squared is equal to what? The square of the sum of these two. Okay, so that is Pythagoras theorem. So let me say that here is x. I'll say that what? X squared is equal to what? 5 squared plus 4 squared. So x squared is equal to what? 25 plus what? 9. X squared is equal to what? 25 plus 9 will give you 34, right? 34. So x is now what? The square root of 34. Okay. So how did I get 9? 16, sorry. 16. This is 16. Yes. It's the 4 squared is 16. So I'm having 30, 41. So 41, square root of 41. So since you have gotten this, they say you should find your tan theta. So you tell them that tan theta is equal to what? 2, opposite over adjacent. Opposite over what? Adjacent. So what do you have now? You now have that so tan theta is equal to opposite is 5 and adjacent is what? There is a mistake somewhere. Sorry. There is a mistake somewhere, please. Sorry, they gave us this. We draw. This is 90. This is my theta. Hypotenuse is the side that is opposite to the longest side. Sorry, my hypotenuse is 5. My adjacent is 4. This is where I need. Okay, so let us now do it again. So hypotenuse squared, you must start from hypotenuse, is equal to what? You can say x anywhere you like now. Start s squared plus 4 squared. So we have 25 is equal to what? S squared plus what? 16. So collect items to say 25 minus 16 is equal to x squared. So 9 is equal to x squared. So x is now what? The square root of 9, which is what? 3. So I've gotten here to be 3. So they now say we should find our tan theta. Our tan theta is what? Opposite over adjacent. Opposite, which is 3 over adjacent 4. Okay, that is the answer. So okay, that is that. So now let's talk about angles that are greater than okay, in our next video we'll talk about angles that are greater than 90.